Let's read the problem carefully. Subtraction does bother us because there are different words and they take on different meanings depending how they're expressed. 42 subtracted from some number called x would be written this way: 42 subtract x. Sorry, I did it wrong. I wasn't paying attention. 42 subtracted from a number. The number is x, and we want to subtract from it 42. So 42 subtracted from the number. If I said 42 minus the number, I would have written it this way. If I said the difference between 42 and a number, I would have written the 42 first, the difference second, and the word x, the letter x afterwards. But this said 42 taken away from a number. That's the proper translation. This problem says negative 10 is to be decreased by 9 times the number. Times, of course, means multiplication. So translating, we have negative 10. We're going to decrease the negative 10, so it's a minus 9 times the number x. We're having some problems doing the translation. That's why I'm going over these. This problem says 4 times multiplication, a number decreased by 3. So 4 times the number x decrease is another way of saying subtract by 3. There's your translation. This problem is a little bit involved. It says the product of 4 and the sum of a number in 3. Product implies two quantities. So the product of 4 and something else. It's the product of 4 and a sum. So 4 times, but we want a sum. And the sum now is made up of a number in 3, x in 3. So the problem says the product of 4 and some quantity. That quantity is the sum, and the sum is made up of a number in 3. We're asked to find the area of the rectangle. The rectangle, if I draw it, has a width of 2y plus 1. And I'll put it in parentheses. And it has a length of 24. And if we're looking for the area, which is the enclosure, area is equal to length times width. The length is 24. And the width in parentheses is 2y plus 1. And we're asked to simplify. What they're looking for is for us to distribute the 24. There's nothing wrong with leaving it the way it is, except the computer's going to mark you wrong. It wants a distribution. So 24 times 2y would be 48y, and then 24 times 1 would be plus 24. Now we're talking area. Let's see our choices for units. Cubic, no. Square, yes. Area is square units. So in this case, it would be so many square miles. Let's read the problem. The quotient, meaning division, of minus 230 and twice, meaning 2 times as much, 23, is equal to an equal sign minus 5. So let's translate. The quotient. As soon as I hear quotient, I'm thinking division of minus 230. But the first thing I hear goes into the numerator. The word and. So now I'm going to talk the denominator, and that denominator is made up of twice 23. And I have to show it. 2 times 23 is equal to equal sign minus 5. A number of people actually did the multiplication out in the denominator, and the computer did not like it. So this is a literal translation, not simplification along the line. $60 is subtracted from 6 times a number, and that is 5 more than the number. So we said before, subtracted from means minus 60. So 60 is subtracted from 6 times some number. So say that's 6x. And that is, what is it? It's 5 more 5 plus the number. There's your translation. Now solving, bring the plus x to the left, so it's 6x minus x. Bring the minus 60 to the right, that's 55 plus 60. Notice I could effectively add plus 60 to both sides, but when I add plus 60 on the left, the 60s cancel. So all I do is move the term from one side to the other, but change the sign. Simplify, that's 5x is equal to 65. Divide by 5. 5 and 6, 1. 5 and 15 is 3. That's the solution to the problem. Sometimes it's important to read the problem over and over again, slowly, trying to understand what it's telling you. The maximum length of a soccer field for international play. For international play is 60 yards longer than the maximum length of a soccer field for play for children under 10 years of age. If the total length of these two categories of soccer fields is 200 yards, what is the maximum length for each of the fields? Well, we have 2 soccer fields, one for international play, and I'm just looking at it. For international play, so I'll say international, INTL, the field is longer than for young children playing. So this is, I'll say, 10-year-olds. So if we knew the length for the 10-year-olds, call it L, then according to the first instance, the maximum length of the soccer field for international play is 60 yards longer than the maximum for 10-year-olds. So this is the 10-year-olds. So for international play, it's larger, 60 plus, I'm using L. I can use whatever letter I want because I'm doing the problem. So 60 plus L. Now, we now know the length in terms of a letter or expression for each field. The total length of these two categories, the international play plus for 10-year-olds, the length of each field adds up to be a total of 200 yards. So that means 60 plus L is 200. Dropping the parentheses, combining like terms, we have 60 plus 2L is equal to 200. Moving 60 to the right, that's 2L equals 200 minus 60, which is 140. Solving for L, we're going to divide by 2, so 2 into 140 is 70. So the length of the field for 10-year-olds is 70. And the length of the field for international play would be 60 bigger, or 70 plus 60, or 130.